Good morning, Arkansas Boys State.
I'm Calvin Ivory, representing Wilmette County.
I'm Tom Marks, representing Qualls County.
Octavius, representing Rooks County.
Josh Haynes from Sanders County.
DK Smith from Wilmette County.
And I'm Zach Gardner, representing Carville County.
So before we hop into the episode today, we're going to start with another morning quote. This is from the Honorable Chris Jones. He spoke to us today. Know thyself. And so with that being said, we're going to be talking about how do you apply yourself? What does it mean to apply yourself? And, how does that fit into your life here, especially while we're all staying on this campus? So without further ado, we want to transition into some of the speakers that we heard today because they had a lot of things to say. We met with some state legislators, we met with some state representatives, and then we met with governor candidate Chris Jones, and they all had different things to say. So here's a summary of just some of our takeaways. I want to start off the morning just acknowledging the governor candidate, Chris Jones, because he gave us some very powerful words. He helped show us that when you stay committed, even though you could be in a big family, even though you could be the smallest voice, or even if you feel underrepresented, you need to find a way to fight for what you want. And that's how it fits into, applying yourself. This morning, he taught us all about how he applied himself in his world. And that's the best advice that I felt he gave us, is that if you can apply yourself in your own world, and if you have that commitment, then you can definitely get a lot of things done. So that was definitely interesting hearing that. And when the state legislators got up there, they talked about how sometimes you have to make some decisions that not everybody agrees with. And that was very powerful because not all the time will you be able to relate to everybody. Not all the time will you be able to keep them all on your side. But if you're doing something right, in the end, it shouldn't matter about
what they think about the subject. If you're doing something right, that should be that's your own perspective. That's your own opinion. Like that shouldn't be nobody else's thought. That only sticks to you. So if you stand by what you say and be confident, it'll take you farther than a lot of things. So,
and just to piggyback off of what DK said, if you stand up for what you want, it shouldn't matter about what other people want. And a quote that I liked a quote that reminds me of that is, you can't live someone else's dreams. And I came up with that in one of my poem excerpts because I like to write. But I think that really sticks with this situation. If you don't have your own dreams and your own aspirations, then whatever you're living for currently, you won't feel as if it's fulfilling.
It'll feel nothingless. Like it'll feel like an empty void.
Numb.
Yeah. Very.
And it was inspiring because I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys on campus, you took those words, you applied them to your speeches, and there was definitely a lot of voter turnout today, especially in the elections. We saw the Federalist Party. They were really strong. They all supported their candidates.
I tell you, the Nationalists
the Nationalists were
election,
very supportive.
It was very competitive. It was very supportive. Shout out to everyone who gave a speech today. All of you did an exceptional job.
Yep. Shout out to all of. Let's just get a shout out going real quick to all of our counties. So shout out Wilmette County.
Yeah. Shout out Qualls County.
Shout out Rooks County.
Sanders County.
Shout out Carville County.
And for those that are not in the room with us, shout out to Sheets and shout out to Hannah as well and Cotton.
Speaking of Sheets, why y'all take them people flag like that, man? Like y'all did not have to take these people flags.
Didn't hold back a single bit. We left the table. We left the table 1 minute. We left the table 1 minute, and the next minute is gone. Gone.
Hey, all respect though.
All respect. I love the competition.
But speaking of competition, we are ushering forward. We just moved past our primaries for the state runoffs. So let's give a congratulations to all of those candidates.
Congrats, guys. Congrats.
Very great competition, by the way, guys.
But as far as more things to look forward to, let's focus on some of these competitions we have as far as the sports go. I mean, let's channel some of the rivalry that we saw the Sheets is definitely creating. Ooh. Let's channel that to some of these competitions. So how's that going over there?
All right, so now this basketball tournament's been going on for a few days, and now we're in the semis. So there's 4 teams left. Right now, Cantrell City, Cabot City, Diamond City, and Roy City are left.
And I hate to interrupt you, but if I'm going to put my money on anybody, it's going to be Cantrell. I'm telling you, it's a strong brotherhood.
I would just like
Ain't
to
nobody
say,
topping that. Speaking on brotherhoods, though, I heard yesterday that it was a pretty close match. There was a lot of intensity, and it came down to Cabot versus your team. So walk us through what it felt like to be in that atmosphere, and what were some of the game plans that you guys were shuffling through?
The game plan was to mainly, again, like we did on Murphy City, was to stop their shooters because, unfortunately, they had more shooters than Murphy City, so it was harder to play Cabot City. And we started out losing, I think, like 12 to like 5. We started losing bad. And then we came back in the second half, and then we tied it up. And then the counselor told us we had to go to overtime. We only had 2 minutes. So we were playing good defense. Both of us scored 1 basket, and then the time ran out, and they had the ball. So the counselor told us, he was like, whoever scored next wins.
So it was the final shot. You were all in. Everyone's applying themselves. You even went to overtime. So it's a lot of intensity there. How did you stop yourself from not burning out, especially after all the activities we had already had today?
Really me is because I'm really used to this, doing all this. I'm an athlete and all that. So it's just a mindset thing. You just gotta overcome certain things and, stick with it.
So you said that the best thing that a lot of these people can do, especially in these tense moments, is just stick with it, keep the energy. So what are some of the things that you felt that your team did do that allowed them to just stick with that energy throughout the whole game?
One reason was because I think we had subs, so we had players coming off the bench after halftime. And they came in with fresh legs and, they gave it all, their all.
And so, but besides sports, people here at Boise State are still finding plenty of other ways to apply themselves, plenty of other ways to have fun. And it doesn't just end with activities. I mean, today during our elections, especially in the Federalist Party runoff, I know we had a time to connect with each other. There was music, there was lots of laughs. And so the environment, it didn't feel as if we were going in there like politicians, mongering for a goal. It really just felt like we were there speaking our minds, displaying our rights as civic citizens, and then we also connected with the gift of music. So that was pretty fun.
To me, it felt like we were in a family reunion, honestly. We all feel like a family because like when we're all like coming in together, it's a way that like we can all bond together and make this big group become like a whole
Nation.
foundation, a whole state. And like the way we support even each even if we're not even in the same county, the amount of support that we give each other is very surprising. Like it's a lot of support. So that's all I needed to say for it.
And speaking of support, I do have a general challenge for the listeners. Now, I challenge you guys to be proactive this next morning. I challenge you guys throughout the day to keep in mind that everyone here is a person just like you. They're not someone who is abstract. They all have their own feelings. They're all complex individuals. But let's refocus that on some of the future events that we have. We have a talent show coming up, and we also have a competitor with us right now. So let's introduce and give a warm welcome to Ty Mark.
Thank you for having me on I was already on the show, but thank you for the wonderful introduction. I believe that the talent show is going to be really competitive. There were some good auditions yesterday. Shout out to everyone that did audition. I wish you all the best of luck. And of course, I want to wish myself the best of luck.
And you deserve it.
I feel like tomorrow is going to be really fun. I know everybody will be supporting us. And may the best man win.
How did you feel on stage, like knowing that you're about to compete against probably a lot of people, I'm guessing?
Well, there was only like 8 of us, and then they were auditions. So.
Yeah, so a fair amount.
I really didn't. It wasn't that bad, honestly, because I've done bigger talent shows, and this one has been the smallest one that I've done. So it wasn't really that much pressure. Talent show, it really shouldn't be any pressure because no matter who you are, win, lose, or draw, it takes so much courage to get up in front of so many people and actually do what you do. I see it as talent show, to me, it really doesn't have a winner because everybody is talented in their own way. That's how I've always seen it. But all in all, it's not really that much pressure.
Okay, would you like to give us, would you like to tell us what you're singing or what you're doing?
That's a surprise.
That's a surprise.
Okay. You'll see tomorrow.
Gatekeeping.
You'll see tomorrow morning.
Gatekeeping. All right.
So, listeners, there are ways to apply yourself here. During this whole Boys State experience, we're all going to connect and we're going to continue to get to know each other some more. And I challenge you to keep an eye out for the talent show, keep a heads up for the debates that we're going to have with some of our state representatives. And you will be seeing a familiar voice there. I'm going to be hosting it. So keep an eye out for some of these upcoming events and keep showing up for your brothers, keep showing them support. That's all that we can do throughout the remainder of this week to have the best time that we can. And Sheets, stay away from our flags, please.
Absolutely. And can I add something else before we go? Yeah. I'd like to say, no matter what, just make sure that you stay positive, guys. When things don't go your way, that's okay. Keep a smile on your face because no matter what, you can always learn from a mistake. You can always learn from things that don't go your way. You learn valuable lessons that has to do with character, behavior, just anything in general. You can always learn something from it. So keep a smile, stay positive. From your boy, Ty.
Stay positive, keep a smile. We've heard lots of great messages. Let's close this out with what we've been saying. Know thyself. If you know yourself, you know what you can do, you know how you can succeed, and you know what makes you happy. So without further ado, good morning, Arkansas Boys State.
Our podcast music was provided by thepodcasthost.com and Alitu, the podcast maker. Find your own free podcast music over at thepodcasthost.com/